What's up, friends? It's Miss Hudson here, and today we're going to continue that conversation about measuring length. Except for this time, we're definitely going to be focusing on metric length. Let me get my pen ready. Boop. And here we go. By the end of this lesson, you should be able to say, I can determine the appropriate metric unit to measure the length of any object. Well, an object. The metric units of length. Ms. Mack already talked to you yesterday about the customary measurements that we use in the United States, but we're going to look at metric units, starting from the shortest to the longest. We have millimeters, centimeters, meters, and kilometers. Okay, so let's dive into the millimeters, the smallest unit in the metric system. Okay, when I see millimeters, I think of those scary millipedes with all those itty bitty tiny legs. Okay, it's okay. No millimeters here. Well, millimeters here, no millipedes here. 10 millimeters are equal to 1 centimeter. Now, you might be thinking, what are millimeters? Duh. Things that are about 1 millimeter. The sharpened top of a pencil, well, the point, the tiny tip of a push pin, and if you turn a dime sideways, the width of that dime. Next, we have the centimeters. I was just talking about millipedes with millimeters, centipedes for centimeters. So centimeters are one of the smallest units in the metric system, but they're bigger, of course, than a millimeter because there's 10 of those in one centimeter. They are kind of like inches for us. Things that are about 1 centimeter, the fresh tip of a brand new crayon. And we're almost at Valentine's Day, so those little conversation hearts that are kind of chalky when you eat them. And if you hold up your pinky and look at the side from the front to the back, the width of your pinky is about 1 centimeter. Check it out. Tiny pinky. Next, we have the meter. Okay, meters are used to measure big things. It takes 100 centimeters, that size of your pinky, to make 1 meter. It is a little longer than a yard. And remember, Miss Mack talked about those yesterday. Things that are about 1 meter. We have a guitar, maybe your leg, and a baseball bat. But my favorite way to remember about the size of a meter is as big as you can spread your arms. So if you have the space around you, lift up your arms out to your sides like a nice yoga pose. Look left, look right. Yep, that's about a meter. Now the last and the biggest one for length, kilometers. Kilometers are used to measure long distances. It takes 1,000 meters, those arm's length, to make 1 kilometer. Kilometers are close to what we know like miles. Things that kilometers measure, like roads and the width and the length of rivers and even how tall a mountain is. Remember, kilometers measure long distances. So, you guys are third graders, and I don't want to bog you down with a whole bunch of information. So, we're going to focus and dig a little deeper into understanding centimeters, that pinky measurement that we've had, and meters, the one where we stuck our arms out left and right. Okay? Let's show what you know. What unit would you use to measure the distance from our classroom to the lunchroom? Let's talk this one out. Millimeters, I think of those little tiny millipede legs. Now that seems a little too small. We'd have to have a lot of those. So I can go ahead and slash that. And let's look at the other end. Kilometers. That's how we measure mountains. There's definitely not like a mountain's worth of distance in between our classroom and the lunchroom. So it's in between the finger size centimeters or the arm size meters. I'd rather do less with the arm size meters. So yeah, meter sounds about right. Let's try another one and talk this one through. What unit would you use to measure the length of an ice cream cone? Yeah, kilometers. Yeah, that kind of seems really huge. Ice cream cone to like measuring roads in kilometers. Too big. So let's slash that one out of here. Let's look at the shortest one, maybe. Millimeters? Like the size of a push pin? No, that's way too tiny. Would I use the centimeters, the size of measuring the side of my pinky? Or is the ice cream cone as big as like my arms sticking out to my sides? Yeah, no, definitely not meters. Centimeters sounds more about right. Now let's do it with a numerical value. So we have numbers plus the unit of measure. Which measurement would most likely be the height of a squirrel? A, 50 millimeters, B, 20 centimeters, or C, 2 meters? Pause the video and think on it a little bit before you answer. Okay, I hope you chewed on it, just like our little squirrels chewing on an acorn. But anyway, if you said 20 centimeters, you're right. 50 millimeters, it's still pretty small, even though there's 50 of them. And 2 meters means that it's like two people standing next to each other with their arms stuck to the sides. Which measurement would most likely be the length of a snake? We have A, 1 meter, B, 10 centimeters, C, 100 kilometers. Pause the video, think on it a little bit. All right, and we're back. If you said A, give yourself a pat on the back. Remember, the meters, we think about sticking our arms out to the sides. 10 centimeters is like if we put 10 of our pinkies together, and that's not long enough. But 100 kilometers, it's like 100 mountains. That's too big. Show what you know. Measure each object using the ruler shown. Round to the nearest centimeter. Now, when we round, if it's 5 or more, we raise the floor. 4 or less, we let it rest. So in order to measure this, I need to put my hammer and start it at the 0. And then I count my centimeters all the way up until the end of it, of my hammer. So 1 centimeter, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And where did it stop? Yeah, at 14 centimeters. So this one was true to the measurement. Stopped exactly at 14 centimeters. All right, I'm going to read the question. I want you to pause and try to measure this to the nearest centimeter. Remember, 5 or more, we raise the floor. 4 or less, we let it rest. Pause video, work it out. Okie dokes. We move our push pin to the 0 and we count on up. 1, 2, oh, we didn't get to 3, so we know it's not that one. And we pass the 1, so 2 centimeters. We round it down because we didn't quite make it to the halfway point. Hey, Velma's on this page. Hi. How many centimeters are Velma's glasses? Pause the video. Give it a chance. Okie dokes, here we are. We had 0, and then we counted all the way up, and they went just a little past 10, so we rounded down to 10 centimeters. Last one. Show what you know. How many centimeters is Jerry's bubble? Here's a hint. Make sure you line the start of the bubble up with the 0. Okay, friends, we're back with the final answer. If you said 6 centimeters, you are absolutely correct. Start at that 0, count our centimeters up, and our bubble stopped really close to that 6, so we rounded up. Thank you guys for sitting with me, talking with me, and taking notes with me on metric length. Take the quiz on the next page, and I'll see you next go round.